Hey, Nick, we need a tagline for the podcast.
No.
Real life opinions. Movie reviews told by fans and not critics.
Why?
Because grammar?
Technical.
And we're back here, guys. I didn't realize I was recording there.
Oh. Well. Hello, boys and girls.
Welcome to the show.
And we have sound effects today.
Yeah, we toyed with that a couple episodes ago, and then we didn't do it, and I was like, oh, maybe it won't exist anymore.
Yeah,
and now
we
Mike
could've hoped.
is back with a fiery passion.
Yeah. It's very unfortunate.
So we have Mike and Laura manning the sound effects, so any angry letters can be directed towards them.
We will give you their mailing address.
At the same time, we love them for it, and we're excited to see what this episode brings.
Is this going to bring down the production value greatly?
We have a production value?
We have a production value. Like, there's some editing that goes on.
Okay, but
Right.
that's 50 cents?
Like the rapper?
50 cent?
50!
350.
Like, you know, if I had I would always want to go to a concert that was 50 cents at Nickelback. I could pay 45 cents for it.
Yeah, man.
Well, that's showing our age.
So,
Yeah.
guys, what are we doing today?
I don't know.
It
I'm
is
drinking.
Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Yeah,
Christmas.
Drinking, yeah.
Drinking.
I'm drinking. I don't
Got
know
a
what you're
fricking,
doing.
Corey gave me caffeine.
Yeah.
I've got 16 ounces of Jack sitting in front of me, so life is good.
Is that... I'm not the Wilhelm stream on this one.
I might be a little slurry, it's fine.
So we're doing the greatest Christmas movie of all time?
Absolutely.
Laura?
It's in the top 10.
It's in the top 10?
Top 10?
Yeah.
Not even top
two.
5?
No, top
No.
3. Top
Oh.
3
No.
for me now.
I sent you guys my top 5. It's not in my top 5.
Well, but our top 5
Yes,
was not
but-
supposed to have unconventional movies in it.
Says who?
Well, me, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, but you're wrong.
Okay, this is, let's rephrase this. This is the greatest non-Christmas Christmas movie of all time.
Okay, that I can agree with.
There you go. There you go.
But it's not non-Christmas. It is Christmas.
But
This was a
Christmas
non-Christmas Christmas.
isn't the
Unconventional
plot.
Christmas.
Christmas is not the plot of this movie.
I don't know, a man trying to get back with his family after being apart.
Yeah?
Yeah, and terrorists trying to take over a giant
Oh,
skyscraper.
so you're reading into it now.
You just too
Now
much.
you just spoiled the movie.
Yeah. You're sorry for those that don't know.
No, the movie from 1987.
You're supposed to be enjoying the movie.
So, on multiple viewings, I never caught this. The scene with John McClane on the plane and the
That's
guy
right.
beside him telling him to do...
Fists with his toes.
So,
Yeah,
for
I-
anybody who hasn't clued in yet, it's Die Hard.
Did we not say Die Hard?
No.
Oh, shit. So we're doing Die Hard. Yay. Anyway, sorry, go on.
We did say it was the greatest
Yeah.
non-Christmas Christmas
Everybody should know.
Well, I want to mention out that actor that's in this, Alexander Goodenough. He was okay, just getting by. We'll do him. He's good enough.
We'll do them.
Where's
We
the
could've found
boo?
somebody
Where's
better.
the boo? Where's the boo?
Yeah.
I don't know, but
No,
No!
that's the wrong sound.
He doesn't get credit for that. There's got to be a boo in here
fine,
somewhere.
Fine. Here.
I mean, okay, but there still needs to be a boo.
There's no
I
boo.
had a boo. At one
You had
point.
a
I just
boo,
haven't-
yeah.
I haven't put it into this program yet.
Convenient.
We can do sirens.
No, those like no.
He wanted to see how that joke planned out before he put the boo in. And then he
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay.
Now that I said it, I can put it in there. Bonnie Bedelia. So sorry, I had to interrupt. I was watching the original
Are you
1979. Not really. The original 1979 Salem's Lot, because I'm a big Stephen King fan, and she was actually the girl in that.
You
Wait a
just
second, yours?
thought about that?
Yeah,
You're a Stephen King fan?
massive,
Who knew?
right?
You
He
have-
still has nothing on me.
Wait till you see my tattoo in January. That's all I have to say. So
Which one are you doing in January?
that Pennywise one was.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
I think you showed me a
the
drawing
clip
of it.
art
Yeah.
of the pop figure.
Mine's gonna
That's
be
gonna be super cool.
I'm pretty excited.
mine's gonna be about 10,000. It's gonna take me a
Jesus.
while. It's gonna be full leg.
That's
Psycho.
Yeah,
My wife would divorce me if I spent more than like $100 on a tattoo, let alone the fact that this one's going to cost me $2. So, and Zach, I'm going to Zach, and he's not filling in the white; he's just leaving it
Yeah.
naked.
that's because white bleaches too easy.
When he said it doesn't show, I don't know. Like they did this one in white, I liked it.
yeah, but it's
but-
turning yellow.
Yeah, well, that's because I have jaundice. I'm just kidding. Anyway, that might not be funny to some people. Anyway, nothing. Anybody? Nobody.
Jaundice, eh? Jaundice.
That's the only yellowing thing I could think of. I could have gone worse.
That is-
You know I could have gone worse.
Fair enough.
I was
Fair
gonna
enough.
say, Corey, stop peeing on yourself, but wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
What are
I
They
love his
paid
name is
for-
Argyle.
they paid for a limo for him, eh?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty swanky. And I love the Run DMC Christmas song.
Right?
Right.
Every
Christmas
time,
in Hollis.
every time I hear that song, I think of this movie.
Yeah, they pay for or hire.
Actually, they
taxi
played
for
that in
him.
Jingle All the Way too.
They
Did
do,
they?
Yeah.
but yeah,
Where did that come from?
It was wrong
His
button.
laptop.
as,
We're not going to get a lot of talking on a mic this time, are we?
as Corey.
Oh no, you'll get a lot out of me in a minute. Wait a minute. Did you hear that?
What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
I don't know what's happening.
There it is. Okay.
That was a long build up to that.
Wow.
Okay. I don't know. That didn't work as the way I wanted to. I'm working on sound, gentlemen, ladies, everybody.
So Bruce
Wow.
Willis was picked up by Argyle, the limo driver.
in which he sits,
Argyle.
Argyle.
In which
Not to
he
be confused
sits-
with the diamond sweaters
Or the
Right.
socks.
or the socks.
in which he sits in the front seat and has a cigarette, and the teddy bear rides in the
Dude,
back.
he has a cigarette on the fucking plane in this movie. Like, this
That's
is so
because it was
80s.
the 80s.
I know,
Wow.
this is so 80s.
So, fun
Jan
fact.
Bond, director of photography. Anyway,
Fun fact. Did you guys know this movie's a sequel?
No.
I
Yeah.
knew it was from a novel. but I
Oh,
didn't-
it was a theoretical sequel.
Well, it was
Something like that.
So the book was a sequel to a Frank Sinatra movie. There was a movie called The Detective that Frank Sinatra, but
Yeah.
the name was different. I want to say
Actually, Frank was on the original writing of this.
Of this
one at
one?
this time.
Really?
Yeah, they I heard the same story. You're continue on, Jeff.
Yeah. I didn't hear that Frank was on writing this one, but I do know that the novel was initially, he was really old. Like, it was the detective. Oh, what's the name of the book, Mike? Tell me what the name of the book is.
I don't read.
Hold on.
It's like something forever. It's like a James Bond type name.
F. Yeah, I never would have read it.
Nothing lasts forever or something like
Nothing
that.
lasts forever.
Yeah. And so the detective was made in the late 60s. Even though the names are different, they're supposed to be the same character, but then recast and the name changed. And then number 2 was a book named 48 Hours, I do believe. 36 Hours, something like that. And then the third movie was based on a screenplay called Simon Says.
Okay,
Not
I can.
Die Hard.
So is that,
Speed
is that where
was
they got
supposed
that
to be
out
a Die
of
Hard.
Die Hard 3 then? Because, of course, that was Simon. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was supposed to be a different movie called Simon Says.
Okay.
And it became
It's
Die Hard
definitely
3.
its own living entity, the third one. I love the third one. As much as the second one's a classic in its own right, the first and the third are the only two that hold a place in my heart.
the fourth one was another novel that had to do with the tech fighting.
Yeah,
all that. That was-
cyber, whatever.
I can't recall the name of that one. And the fifth one was the only one that was actually a Die Hard movie.
And then it sucked.
Yeah, it sucked.
I enjoyed it.
Nobody enjoyed it.
I did.
Wasn't Jay
Wow.
Courtney that made it enjoyable?
A father-son journey, and Mike enjoyed it, eh?
Yeah.
Go
And,
figure.
and it's not like I thought it was brilliant or I was thrilled throughout the whole thing. I enjoyed the action. I enjoyed the father-son dynamic.
See,
Was
Doesn't
it
make it good. It
I
just
hate
means I enjoyed
Timothy
it.
Oliphant, so I hated the fourth movie. I liked him when Santa Clarita Diet finally came out, but I've never liked Timothy Oliphant. So I couldn't get into the fourth movie as much as I could have.
That's the fifth one.
No.
Oh, Timothy the Elephant was in the fourth one.
He
Yeah,
was Live
you're
Free
right.
with
Who's
Justin Long.
Timothy the elephant?
Oliphant.
Oh.
He was the villain in part 4.
Look at how 80s this
So fucking 80s.
like this whole plaza is like the most 80s thing I've ever seen.
But he's at a Christmas party. He's having a Christmas drink. There's Christmas music. Why are people arguing that this is a Christmas movie?
There's also a Christmas tree.
Right. There's
You know,
blow.
and
There's
I think
sex in the
there's-
office. This is an 80s movie.
I'm pretty sure Santa's around here somewhere too.
Is Bill Murray's brother in it though? It's not
Brian
an
Doyle Murray? Yeah. Right?
It's not an 80s Christmas movie without Bill Murray's brother.
There's
Which is funny because New Year's, technically, too. Ghostbusters 2 takes place over New Year's, and Brian Doyle Murray's in that.
Is that New Year's?
Yeah. Remember? The whole New Year's Eve is what caused the slime to get all
Oh,
weak, and that's how they...
I have completely forgot about that.
because it's right at midnight when they all start singing.
Should all acquaintance be... Anyway. Oh, look, blow.
It's more like Miami than LA. Like,
I was gonna say you're 2 weeks away, Corey.
now, for those that don't know, we don't have snow yet.
Yeah.
We do so. The
We-
ground is white. It's just not.
It's a
Enough-
frost more than anything.
It's not enough to help me make
You're
money.
a
Damn
hoarfrost.
it! Did you say horror or whore?
Oh, look at this sleazy
I used to
scumbag.
wonder for the longest time how that was spelled, and then I finally looked it up. I'm like, oh, that's no fun.
How's it spelled?
H-O-A-R.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, they had to tiptoe around that one pretty good, so...
Mhm.
Bonnie Bedelia.
So,
Mike's
what
excited.
do we think of the scumbag in the beard? Worst character in this whole show?
He's a slime ball.
I saw one of the memes, like many of the many memes with that theme. It's like, it's not Christmas Eve until this guy gets whacked. Oh.
and none of us can think of his name offhand.
No. Unforgettable. Jesus.
Wow.
The crowd hates me.
That joke wasn't that bad. Los Angeles. Nothing screams Christmas time like Los Angeles and palm trees, eh?
Yeah.
I think McLean's wife is hot.
Bonnie Bedelia was gorgeous in the 80s.
No, I disagree. Like, look at that hair.
Okay,
No
80s
one with
hair.
that
no
was-
That
one
was
with
an
hair can
80s
be-
perm. That was a quintessential 80s perm.
Nobody with that hair can be attractive to
Don't
me.
forget the feathering.
Oh my god, the
Yeah.
feathering. That just no.
And the eyeshadow that just screams gouge my eyes out.
Yeah, maybe I'm too young to understand, but what was attractive about that look in the 80s? Because, like,
What year were you born?
83.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I can't remember. That kind of explains it. I mean,
Not, like, if you did something about that hair, she might be a little cute, but
Well, and
attractive is...
I can't remember if I mentioned on here. I think I did about the Salem's Lot thing.
Yeah.
That movie was 70, or it was a miniseries actually, was 79. So that was 4 years prior. So she was pretty gorgeous in that too.
You know
so.
who's damn sexy in this movie? Take
John
a
McClane?
look. Take a look at Bruce Willis. Like,
Yeah.
with his little
So
white
young.
tank top, his little tuft of hair on his chest.
So much
He-
hair compared to how
Jeff,
much he lost.
do you have a man crush?
Well, right now, he's the most attractive person in this
It's a
show.
good thing he was born in '83. We're
Well,
much more accepting of that sort of thing.
luckily,
Right?
Even if you did, he would have forgotten by now anyway.
Oh, that deserves the
Too
boo
soon.
one.
Too soon.
Uh,
Come on, sound
Oh.
guy.
Come on.
Sound
Just-
I
guy.
win!
Okay.
I win!
Okay,
No, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, it's not funny anymore.
But look how
Right.
dreamy he is. Come on, guys.
I mean, honestly, Bruce Willis in the Moonlighting days was pretty hot.
Oh, the clear product placement of Evian water.
Yeah.
That's
So,
God, I love this movie. I don't
Okay.
even have to talk about it. I just love this movie.
are we going to spend the whole time watching this movie?
I will.
So
I can play the
Google
sound
over
effects.
This movie the entire time.
That doesn't really.
So, Corey, I'm just wondering, are you going to be able to get any word out properly?
You know what? How much have I had to drink already? It's half my glass through already. So You are not allowed to be part of this podcast, Kat.
Your cat is either coughing or she's barking behind me. There's a problem.
Okay, I want to talk about something. This eclectic nature of these villains. Okay, so we got two clearly defined blonde-haired Germans,
Yep.
black dude, and
Random, yeah.
and then an Asian dude. We'll see him later.
Hey, man.
the Asian
The quintessential Asian
Yes,
bad guy?
He's a hitman and everything. Or
Was
Right?
he not in Lethal Weapon?
He
I'm
was.
pretty sure that was him, yeah.
And he was in one of the Batmans. I can't remember which one I
Returns.
said. No, he wasn't in Returns.
Are you sure?
We had looked it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was trying to remember which one. But it's just like,
Begins.
Yes.
Right.
okay, here they all are. Oh, that guy's German. He's German. He's
There's
English. The guy on
the-
the right is Italian.
I was going to
For
say
sure.
there's the
Oh,
token
yeah.
Italian guy.
Look at the Guido hair, right?
But, I
Like,
mean-
Well, the guy on the left
It's
looks like
The shirt,
Huey
gold.
Lewis.
The
Can we
gold
not
chain
take a
and the-
moment to appreciate how fucking amazing Alan Rickman is? Like,
Alan-
Right?
he can play an English. Well, he's English. He's a British man, or was, and he was obviously at that. But when he plays a German in this movie, you believe he's a German. When he
With
plays
an English
what-
accent, it's amazing. You just accept him for who.
you know what? He did a decent job of pulling off the British or the German. I mean, sorry, in it.
He did a phenomenal job as a character.
Yeah,
I just
agree.
love.
but that's what Alan Rickman was. He was a character actor,
I just
right?
love
So,
Alan Rickman. So
yeah,
the-
that was a hard
See,
loss.
I would have
There's our
preferred he had a
token-
better accent, though. I wished he would have leaned into the German accent a bit. Like, not necessarily when he's on the mic, but,
the scene where he's got to pretend to have an American accent.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
it's
that's phenomenal.
genius
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's just like you can tell it's a fake accent, even though it's not it's a fake accent on a fake accent.
Right, because he's not English, like
They-
American English anyway. So technically, even though Alan Rickman is British, he is still faking an American accent. So now he's
Accent?
shut up.
he's faking a German accent.
While
Well, he's
faking
faking
an
Amer-
American
but
accent.
it's not an accent. It's an accident.
He's a dude
What?
playing a dude playing another dude.
It's gonna be a long night.
I am going to pick up on every word.
Please-
you
please don't.
screw
Look,
up.
fist with his toes.
That is not even shag carpet. I'm disappointed.
Well, that's because
It's
the
an
80s.
office. Offices generally didn't have shag carpet. It was the houses that did.
Not in the 80s.
Look at that. Look at that
Offices
wallpaper.
generally had
Golden
It was-
Berber
brown.
carpet.
It was phasing out.
Offices had Berber carpet. Houses
Love
had
you,
shag
Daddy.
carpet.
We miss you. That was in his wallet. I love moments like that.
Aww.
They can make
Aw.
and break a movie.
It's just foreshadowing like a movie they're going to pay off 20 years later.
Oh, fuck. What about Disney? What are they, Disney or Marvel?
Well, I
No,
love
don't
how
think so.
when part 4 came out, they're like,
Actually,
"Oh, it's
they
about
are.
the daughter." Then part 5 comes, "Oh, it's about the son."
Fun fact, it is Disney now, so yeah, Disney was playing the long con here.
So
Who's
John
making
McClane is a Disney prince.
Yes.
John McClane's a Disney prince now.
He's a Prince
Who
Charming.
owns Die Hard?
Fox
Disney.
and Fox
no,
owned by
no,
Disney.
Who, yeah,
Oh, yeah, it was Fox made it.
before the devil bought him out. It was
It was
Fox?
Fox, yeah.
See, I gotta love this part. This is how you deal with all electronics. Just use a chainsaw, cut them,
I mean,
kick them.
that wasn't a chainsaw, but okay.
I love how he doesn't
Yeah,
even give his
Barb.
buddy enough chance to like wire them. He's like, nope, fuck you. I'm going to cut him right now. No.
They're brothers. That's how they work.
There's so much dynamic between the henchmen. Like, this movie is so well written in terms of the characters, in terms of the story. Like, this is, in my opinion, one of the best heist movies ever.
And yet, elevator opens. Everybody surely heard the ding. They sneak out with guns and nobody pays attention until the firing starts.
Well, it's a Christmas party. Everyone's like
Drunk,
high
high.
on coke.
At least that one guy for sure.
With your approval and your appraisal, you're raving on the character development of the henchmen and the plot. We got the brothers, the friendships, and all that. I was going to say I really love that too. In theater, after you get cast the leads or the driving, everybody else, if it's a good story, if it's a good production, they create these elements, and then none of it has to be relevant to the plot, but your reaction to another character is just so much to play with, and it shows up in things like this.
So, and I have to agree with you there, but sidetrack. He obviously hears the guns going off, people are screaming, and the thing he thinks about grabbing is his gun, but not his shoes.
Yeah.
Why would you grab your shoes?
Fun fact: I saw recently in I don't know, like what went wrong type like movie mistake
Everything
thing.
wrong with
Yeah.
this movie. And
Well,
then
it wasn't CinemaSins, but it was either way. He's wearing foot molded sandals, and you actually can see it at one point when his pant legs lifted up.
Yeah.
You can see the edge of the sandal, and you can see that he's not actually barefoot.
Well, the continuity wasn't as big of a thing in the 80s, right?
Well, they
Like,
didn't care because they actually
No,
led
they
this
wrote
movie.
it properly. That's why. I wanted to point out that Alan Rickman did not flinch when the machine gun went off behind him. When he was grabbing the attention of everybody, it went off. He didn't even blink. Didn't even flinch.
Which that's either a good thing or bad thing. Like a human person should flinch. So is he either that villain or it's just bad post?
I think it's good acting. It's Alan Rickman being that German, being Hans.
I think it's bad acting. Like, I think, human nature, you would blink. So, you not blinking is a sign that you are...
the
Psychopath?
sounds were
Are
added
you
in
saying
post.
Alan Rickman's a psychopath?
No, I'm saying that he's not acting realistic to the role.
But
I
did
think he
Hitler
is.
blink?
It's like the other
What's
guys.
that?
How
Did
did
Hitler
people walk
blink?
away from these explosions?
Only in the beginning, maybe.
Right?
I
So-
think if someone's a terrorist and that's what they do for a living, you would learn to control that. Do you think? And it's like, what was that movie we watched a while ago where, Lethal Weapon. Every
Where the
time
cop
in
was
the
shooting.
range,
Yeah, Mel Gibson doesn't blink.
blinked on
Or
every
did
shot.
blink. Did blink.
Yeah,
That's
And I don't believe he would have. A trained professional that fires weapons, military.
I'm totally on the opposite side of this. I feel like the realism comes from them blinking, and the unrealism comes from them not.
I kind of agree with you, Jeff.
I don't think as I know people that have shot guns their entire lives that
Still blink.
you wince. It doesn't matter how custom you get to this. It's unrealistic that you wouldn't blink.
If you
Yeah,
didn't
but
see me
they're
coming
not-
and I went like this to you, you blinked. It
Right.
happens. It's shit. That happens.
But they're not terrorists. They're not trained firearms specialists.
Well, I do know a trained firearm specialist, but
you don't know whether he blinks or not.
I'm gonna presume Matt blinks when he shoots. a gun.
Oh,
we have
I
to pin
think-
him down to
I
ask
think
him.
you just put a P in
I'm
front
gonna
of that
text him
because
now.
you didn't want to be an ass.
Text Matt, yeah.
We
I
can do
haven't gone shooting guns.
You deserve that one.
Did you? Oh, sorry. Actually, it's not there. I think I'll ask you. But
Sure.
anyway,
Mhm.
Alan Rickman's 42, by the way.
in
Right,
this movie,
in this movie,
I was
That's when he
I
made
was
his
2
big
years
break.
older than him.
he actually looks a lot younger than 42.
He does.
I wish I could look that good at 42. I'm 2 years younger than him, and I look like fucking.
And I'm 2
10
years older
years.
than him, and I look 20 years older than him. So
Yeah, I would
No,
not
you're-
put you and Alan Rickman at the same age, right?
Right.
So I'm going to say I challenge anybody that listens to this to weigh in your opinion. If you think a Navy SEAL or a terrorist or a trained professional in firearms would flinch or blink, weigh in on this.
chime in. Go in the
Chime
comment.
yeah.
This will hit on Facebook first.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not true. It'll hit on Instagram first, then it'll hit on Facebook. I want to see in the comments. I know, Vanessa, you listen to us. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. I mean, maybe I'll send a text out to our buddy that's military and correctional and see what his thoughts are. He's obviously a very trained man with a firearm, so I would love to know his opinion.
And I'm going to throw this out there. If you're using a character reference, Vin Diesel in The Pacifier does
Doesn't
not count.
And we're also keep in mind, if we're referring to Canadian firearm specialists in compared to an American or German or somebody
Wait,
that
Is that
are
a thing?
Are you downplaying Canadian firearm specialists?
Yeah, what are
I-
we trying to say here?
our police don't gun down a criminal 3 times a week.
Our
Okay.
police. I'm not going there. I'm not.
I've had some. I've had.
I don't think that makes you a firearm specialist if you're too shitty at your job that you got to gun down people all the time.
So there's stormtroopers.
That's what I'm saying. U.S. is the whole point. I worked with a cop doing a reclamation service, and he would talk about how their training would teach him to reload a second revolver clip without thinking. So whenever you see this was back in the 70s what he was referring to, when you'd see a perp or perpetrator trying to be all fancy there, with like 12 shots in him, that's because your instinct is to center mass and unload until they are stopped at that time.
My mother-in-law was in corrections for her whole life. She's not with us anymore. It's very sad. But either
I've
way,
been corrected my whole life.
she every time somebody's like, "Why did they shoot him in the leg? Why did they shoot him in the leg?" Because they're not taught to shoot in the leg. They're taught to shoot center mass.
Yeah.
Exactly what you're saying.
Yes.
So
Can we talk for a second about the guys? Not the guy, but Takai. Right. Yeah. No. Let's hope there's no listeners that caught that one.
Takadai?
No.
anyways,
His brain's literally splattering. I love that effect because like you actually see.
yeah, like skull and brain.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Love
I'll
that.
have to get a splat sound effect.
Yeah. Alan Rickman's like so menacing in that scene where he's
Alan
interrogating.
Rickman is awesome.
This whole movie. He's,
I mean, Bruce Willis is still moonlighting to me
mhm.
at this point because that's where I knew him from.
Yeah.
You know, and
That was a lot lighter though, was it not?
oh, absolutely, absolutely.
It was a soap opera, essentially. It was an evening soap opera.
There he is, the quintessential henchman. The Germans hired the 2 Italians and the Asian dude for a specifically German plotted plot.
Do you think that
What?
that one Asian guy whose name we can't remember, he's got this.
Al Long?
Al Long.
Yeah.
Al
He's got the
Leong.
skullet?
Leong,
You think
yeah.
he's just got a very shootable face? I think that's why.
No, I think he's.
I think that's why I don't do
extremely talented in
videos,
martial arts, and he's probably the choreography professional as well.
There's
can see
not
that.
much martial arts in this movie.
There's enough. There's not a lot, but there's. Oh yeah, the Germans, the hand-to-hand fighting with the blonde-haired guy
Like,
before he sends him over.
Is it martial arts or just a good old-fashioned ass whooper?
Yeah, there's martial arts in Lethal Weapon, but I don't really think. I think it's
There's
more
some
like
in here. There's definitely some.
But I think he does. When he faces the Asian guy, I think there's a little bit of martial arts.
So
there.
at this point, if we're going by today's standards, when he's running around talking to himself, there's many different diagnoses for those.
I mean, still know people. I, myself, am people who talk to themselves when trying to work things through.
Okay.
Are you talking
But
Bruce Willis?
No, I know what he has.
No, we're talking
In this
movie,
scene,
so.
you're talking about
Right,
Bruce Willis
yes.
talking to himself, right?
Almost kind of arguing with himself. Now, it's okay to have a conversation with yourself. It's not okay to have an argument with yourself in which you lose.
I do that all the time.
There's something wrong with you, Corey.
You have no idea.
So there's 2 reasons why he's like this, okay? First off,
Exposition.
Yeah.
Movie's got a movie somehow.
Movie's got a movie. Second, it's nerves.
And I understand that too.
Yeah. Like that.
I think that's as natural as not blinking. when
He's
you're
a
terrorist.
cop, and he's banging on the window going, "Up here, guys!"
Yeah, but he's never been in a terrorist situation before. Like, you would presume not. Like, this is...
He's a cop from
He's
New
probably never
York.
been in a high-rise before
He's
either.
a New York cop.
He's a cop from New York.
Like, in the 80s...
In the 80s.
Hey, look, it's Jeffrey Dahmer.
But taller and more muscular. I don't know. How tall was Jeffrey Dahmer?
I don't freaking know.
Probably not that, though.
He wasn't German.
Well, no, but I
Dahmer?
mean,
Not with that attitude.
the Netflix kind of had him. The blonde had a very similar look
Wow.
as this guy.
Evan Peters, right?
Yeah,
So,
Evan Peters.
Like, it's almost identical. This is the
Right?
Jeffrey Dahmer look.
Oh, totally.
It's
But those
probably where they
glasses-
based it off of.
Loyal listener Lisa, because I love those words,
Lisa?
had those. You know what? Anyway, she had those glasses.
She had the Jeffrey Dahmer glasses.
Yeah.
Are we doing?
Oh,
But we
now
gotta
I-
take a body break. We'll be right back after these messages.
and some yoga.
So look how pissed the one blue hair.
Blue hair?
Blue hair, blonde eyed.
Yes. Yeah. You guys,
Ugh.
you clearly knew what I was talking.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Like The Death of His Brother by John McClane.
Yeah, he lost his shit.
Oh yeah.
Which I mean, as well he should.
Right
So-
there, you see the sandals.
Well, I didn't even see it at that point.
Has it ruined the movie for me? Not quite,
No.
but almost.
Nothing.
Sandals?
Yeah, knowing that it's sandals.
It's just not a method actor, you know. Leto would have went barefoot for sure.
Oh yeah, right through the
Yeah, but
glass.
Leto's method to the point of insane.
Oh, I know.
And I love Jared Leto. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I actually love 30 Seconds to Mars. I love everything. However,
Okay, let's not remake this movie ever. But if this was pitched today, who would you pick as John McClane in somebody who's in that 30 plus?
Krasinski.
Who?
Krasinski.
Too pretty.
No, I disagree
Yeah,
with
but
that.
Bruce Willis was a pretty boy when
But
this
He's
came
like
out.
6'6", jacked.
But now,
He's
and,
too.
and
He
he's got
is
no
too tall.
flaws.
Yeah, but his not Jack Reacher.
Jack Reacher was
Ryan.
great.
Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan
was
yeah.
good.
Oh, it's great, but it was not Psycho. I don't think he can do that.
You know, the guy that
Psycho.
plays Jack Reacher could do this. I know
He's too
like,
jacked. He's too jacked.
big, yeah.
And
Well,
that's
like-
the point. Jack
He
Reacher's
should
supposed to
be
be
Gunn's
jacked.
new Batman.
That's why. What's it
He's
called?
got the look.
What's his name?
Who?
The Jack Reacher guy.
Oh, Alan
Richardson?
Richardson.
It
Yeah.
sounds like he's on board.
Oh, he wants to do it.
Yeah.
Somebody said it, and he wants to do it, but I don't know if he'll do it or
So-
if he'll get to do it.
Yeah.
so can somebody tell me, because, I always have to ask a question. He slides down the ramp on top of the roof. He hits the railing, and yet he manages to keep a hold of the gun after hitting his wrist on it.
I don't understand movies where people are getting their hands slammed against a rail and they don't let go. How much training does that involve? Because I freaking am walking through a doorway and I hit my hand on something, I drop what I'm carrying.
Right?
Well, if
You're
you
not
don't
John
flinch
McClane.
on a gunfire, you won't let go of the handgun either.
I every time I see that in a movie, I'm like, what kind of training is that? Seriously.
And
Hey, look at Carl
this-
Winslow.
I was
Yay!
gonna say, at this point, this feels like typecasting.
Well,
Because he's a
Oh,
cop?
he was. This is
Because-
like one of three.
He
or
was
four.
always a cop. What was the
Because
other thing he was in that
He
he was
played
a
a
cop?
cop on Family Matters.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Then he
Perfect
plays
Strangers.
Perfect Strangers, and
Oh, I
this.
Yeah, but wasn't he the same guy? Like, wasn't he Winslow
he
in
was
Perfect
Carl
Strangers?
Winslow.
Yeah.
The same jovial
But still,
beat cop.
It
Do
is
you remember that
totally
episode of Perfect
typecasting.
Straight or of Fresh Prince? No, not Fresh Prince. Family Matters when they're saying, "See, he looks like Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince," and then
Oh,
James
yeah.
Avery walked through the
Yes.
door.
yeah.
Oh, it was fantastic.
don't
I miss
remember that
James
one.
Avery.
So fun fact about Reginald
Val Johnson.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Who?
Carl Winslow.
Okay.
So I heard the reason why he took these roles is because he actually wanted to be a cop growing up.
Which makes sense.
It does.
Yeah. So he purposely went after these roles.
Which is why he plays a flat.
Remember
foot in
the
this one?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine where he wanted to be part of Die Hard so bad, and so they finally got somebody to be from the movie to see him, and it was just him.
I have
You're getting
not
cat
really
hair
seen
all
much
over
of-
my coffee.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn
Well, I think it
Nine-Nine
was
was
Carl Winslow.
phenomenal.
It was Carl Winslow.
No, it was Reginald playing himself.
Oh, he was playing himself?
Yeah, because Andy Samberg's character is a huge Die Hard fan, and they wanted to get him. They wanted him to beat Bruce Willis, but obviously Bruce Willis wouldn't do this, and so they actually got Reginald to play himself, saying, "Hey, it's me," and it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Well, a show like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, getting Carl Winslow, that's actually a good get, right? I feel that's a natural evolution, right? Or natural cameo
It was
choice.
it was a cameo essentially because it was the actor playing the actor who played the character.
Hey, have you guys
So in the credits, it said him playing himself.
Yeah,
Okay.
have you guys ever seen Stan Lee's cameo acting?
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah,
skit.
it's in every Marvel movie.
No. He's got there's a commercial where Stan Lee's just "Welcome to my school of cameo acting,"
Oh.
and then it's got Kevin Smith and it's got.
Did you ever see Ian McKellen's?
No.
Oh yeah, he's got a mask. In order to play a wizard, I imagined what it would like to be a wizard. And there you have it.
Wow, that's super insightful.
Yes.
Hey, it's loyal listener Lisa.
No, you got to say it the way Corey does. It's loyal listener Lisa.
I've been drinking tonight.
And I am totally bugging him.
With this
Every
man-
misstep I've made, she's called me out on.
See, somebody agrees with me.
there's no way this cheesy little strap on that gun would hold him up as long as it did in this.
What's it
we're-
made out of?
Nor is it that
It's
long.
It's
nylon.
like those crappy nylon.
With the plastic.
Nylon is incredibly strong.
No, it's not
With
the
those
nylon.
plastic clips.
Yeah, it's
the clip on that hand, perhaps.
It's
that
also
clip-
not that long.
Those clips never held on like that.
This is the 80s. Things were made better back then.
I remember those
Oh,
crappy
look.
clips in the
Wait,
80s.
wait. Look. It's John McClane in the...
He's on my
The
Christmas
bench.
tree, just like this.
This is... Yeah,
Right now.
everybody... Yeah, I need to get that in my Christmas tree, actually.
Some ducting and a picture of him.
Yeah.
And from the look from your wife, the answer is no.
She would totally be behind it.
This created some great tension, like when they're in the room and they think he's in the duct, and
They just shoot
blue
it
hair,
up.
blonde eyes is like shooting up the ducting. And that's what I'm going to call him from here on out, guys. I'm not
And
even.
that one has the
That's
worst
why I didn't say
spray
anything,
tan
so.
I have ever seen in my life.
What was that?
Spray tan?
Spray tan, if you look around, not that one, but the other one, if you look around his mouth, it's like whiter than the rest.
It's like he's supposed to be Eurotrash or something.
He could have that skin condition that has the white pigment.
Alopecia?
Oh,
No, that's hair.
No,
Oh, yeah. The Michael Jackson thing, anyway.
yeah.
You're making fun of a guy with an ailment. Terrible.
Not.
Terrible.
I'm pointing out that he obviously wore a freaking
Shoot down,
something
mother-
in his mouth.
Shoot!
Like, how do you not find
That
him in
one,
there?
the one with the brownish
That
red
one?
hair. No, not that one. The other one.
The other one.
Yes.
That one?
No.
That one.
No, that's John McClane.
Oh, okay. John McClane doesn't have a spray tan?
Oh, look,
No.
Carl Winslow.
What the hell is the limo driver doing this entire time? Like,
He's just
Getting
on his
high.
phone. Yeah, he's on his phone talking to his woman.
he
And
was
getting
on
in the
high.
parking-
he was on his cell phone before being on your cell phone was a thing. eh?
No, he's on the car phone.
Yeah,
I
there was
know,
no
but-
cell phone.
but-
It was a car
But
phone.
I'm saying, like, you know how kids are always on their cell phones nowadays?
Yes.
He
Except
was the
for-
kid on his cell phone before that was a thing.
Except for he's sitting in the back of the car that he's been hired to drive, getting high.
Is he getting high, though?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember seeing
I'm-
smoke. I just remember him seeing
I'm
just
pretty
dollying on his
sure-
phone.
I'm
So.
pretty sure
I feel
he's
like
getting
you're
high.
being racist.
Are you saying black people
Just
get
because he's
high?
black, he's getting high.
Being white, you get high.
Well,
But
Carl Winslow's not getting high.
no.
No, he's eating
getting high on
Twinkies.
sugar. Did you see
Yeah,
that?
he's
Did you
eating.
see the Twinkies
Twinkies.
he got?
Okay, the other black guy's not getting high.
The cop is eating Twinkies? No.
No.
That's a stereotype.
At least he's not eating donuts, I guess.
I mean,
What is a Twinkie? So
but he was getting coffee and Twinkies, so
The
Huey Lewis answers the door.
that
See-
he's a dead ringer for Huey Lewis.
Oh, I
Like,
agree,
so
and he's been in.
I
a
wouldn't
dozen
say
movies.
dead ringer, but he's definitely
He
similar.
has
so.
that. It's just the first thing I think of.
so
I was a big Huey Lewis fan in the 80s.
At
Huey
least-
Lewis looked like the guy in Back to the Future.
at least
He was.
two
I
of
know.
these-
one of the judges.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
triggered me. You triggered me.
The power of love, yo.
See, and at least two of these guys obviously were fans of Mel Gibson because their hair is identical.
And they wear cowboy
He's mullet.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that was more of an '80s thing than a Mel Gibson thing.
boots.
This is genius, by the way, of the terrorist to be like, "Oh, cop comes in. Yeah, come on in. Come check out the footage. Yeah, I don't care. I guess just pretends like this is."
I love
nothing
how he's
going-
got the Texan accent though. Like he's got the cowboy boots. I'm like, you're in New York, right?
No,
Or LA,
LA.
sorry, yeah.
There are cowboys in California.
I guess.
They're pretty close to Texas. Actually, California.
Pretty close.
It
But
filters
wait-
up there. California was Mexico at one time, which I didn't know that.
That's
all
why
California-
Tijuana is like right there.
Yeah, it was just like I didn't realize that the whole era of Zorro was U.S.
Yeah, it was
taking
fighting for
California and
Or for
Texas
California.
and other places.
Okay, you can't tell me that he doesn't see him crawling underneath the table when the table's in that
Yeah, you
pattern.
shoot ahead of the moving body, not behind it.
This is just like poor.
And
That's
he
like
dies by leg
This should
shots.
be the low point in the movie for me. Not that I hated it because it was cool at the time.
Dude,
but-
you got to tell the viewers what you're talking about.
Okay, the guy's walking across that giant zigzaggy table that's 430 feet long. John McClane is crawling on his back underneath, just in front of all the gunshots. The guy could easily just poke around the corner or whatever, but it's just it's a little forced and contrived to make this moment.
It was probably one of the cheesier moments for sure.
The only thing that it was missing was him tap dancing on top of the table. With
Yeah.
at him.
I love Carl Winslow when the body falls on the car. He's like,
Welcome to the party, pal.
So you know what I have to say about that scene, Mike?
What's that?
Movie's got a movie.
And you know, sometimes it's good movieing, and sometimes it's bad movie.
I hate to say it, but there's no such thing as an 80s movie that didn't movie got a movie.
Well, no, and like I say, just because they do something I don't like or later in life, doesn't make it all in all a bad movie. It's just I wish they would have done that moment better.
Isn't it funny, going off topic, that
Really?
this is 1987 and Ghostbusters came out in 1984 and William Atherton is still a dick?
Who's William Atherton?
That's
It's
the reporter. He plays Walter Peck in Ghostbusters.
Again,
Yeah.
Well, and
typecasting.
Right.
Has he ever played it? Not
No, he's always been a dick.
See, and that's what annoys me. And today it's getting bad too. People are being hired, or actors are being hired for one aspect of what they do, and they never do.
But certain actors are like, well, I know I'd excel at it, so I'm just going to keep doing it. Other actors are like, I can do more, I promise you.
I agree. And
So-
who's that? You guys like him because he's such a good bad guy. He's a black guy, Rodriguez or something. He was in Mandalorian. He was in
Carl Weathers?
no. He was in Better Call Saul. Or Breaking Bad.
Something Giancarlo.
Oh,
He's not black.
yeah.
He's like a dark Mexican.
Okay, whatever.
Like
Yeah.
He's never
I
been
know
in
you're-
anything
Carlo
other than
Yeah.
Esposito or something like that.
Esposito.
Esposito?
He's
I don't
Gus
know.
Fring in Better Call Saul, right? Gus Fring, the chicken guy.
Oh, sure. I haven't watched Better Call Saul. I just know he was in it. He was in Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. He was.
Empty.
I've seen him in everything he's ever done. He plays the exact same type of bad guy too.
People wanted him to play Doom in the MCU. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Doom?
Like Dr. Doom.
No.
Yeah, right?
I don't see it. I'm sorry.
You know what? That's one of the rare times where I'm just like, yeah, I'm down for that.
Doom is European.
He's got a European accent.
Okay, but any actor has a European
Like
accent.
you could totally
Sorry.
no, but he's like legitimately got like a Spanish accent, which is technically European.
He's
Well,
very, very
depends
dark for
on which
Spanish.
version of Spanish accents you're going for. Like, are you going Mexican Spanish or are you going
I-
Spain Spanish?
Okay,
I-
hang me out to dry for this one. I have never seen a single thing he's in. A single
Really?
thing.
You've never seen Mandalorian?
None of it.
I have to agree with you, Corey.
Yeah. And I keep hearing about him, and he keeps popping up, and he's the it man. He's so good. They want him to be Professor X even.
He's-
And I was like,
Yeah.
Okay.
no.
I would prefer to see him play Professor X.
Side
and
note, did
try
I
and
just see
convince the
Mary
other
Ellen
ones.
Trainor? Was she the newswoman? Because that would have been amazing if it was. So
I can't remember.
anyway,
I
would
think
prefer
you're
to try and
fantasizing.
convince me
Santa
that you
Claus!
Oh,
now I have the machine gun. Ho, ho, ho.
oh, oh, oh.
I just love how perplexed these terrorists are. Like they've got everything else planned for, except fucking John McClane. Like this stupid New York City cop who just happens to be here, who doesn't mind murdering your guys.
Well, and he was not part of their plan. Why would he be part of their plan?
Mhm.
Like,
And I
even-
love Carl Winslow is just like, come on! I know that's not his name in this movie.
I was
but
saying,
that's
what
I'm
is his
gonna call
name in
him.
this movie? Because we will always call him Carl Winslow. So-
I remember, he says it, but I can't remember it.
Well, of
They're
course he
saying
said.
it right now, but
Well,
we don't have the volume.
there was
up.
Roy Rogers, and there was they called himself Roy, and they called himself
Well,
something else.
I
so-
remember them talking about it because he's telling him, no, it's later on that he tells him how he became a flatfoot.
You need this one.
Oh, because he shot that kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, he was a beat cop, and then he shot a kid, and then he got relegated to desk duty.
Which in their terms, then made him Flatfoot.
Yeah.
Well, that's him making fun of him, right? Kind of. Well,
Yeah.
he's sort of
Making
fun.
light of the situation that was obviously very hard.
But it's a sad story, right? Like, you get some sympathy for him, right?
On another side note, I quit smoking about 7 or 8 years ago. It's
Congrats,
this
by the way.
movie. What's that?
Congrats, by the way.
Thank you.
LAPD Sergeant Al Powell.
Right.
Yeah.
Al.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call him Carl Winslow this whole thing.
Me
This
too.
Me
is
too.
one of the few times where I could watch a movie like this and I really understand or sympathize with that smoke. I can smell it right now, and I can say, yeah, I would.
As a smoker,
so. Okay.
if you notice every time they have one in their mouth, I keep looking away from the screen.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
No, I could totally understand that.
There's like
situation wanting to
20
smoke.
more minutes. You'll be fine.
That's why I keep looking away
Yeah.
from the screen.
Oh, it's the principal.
From
The principal
Breakfast
from the
Vendor?
Club.
Breakfast Club.
Man,
What's his name?
douchebag? That's his name.
Oh, frick.
Dick?
I used to know his name like off the top of my head, and now I think because of my
See, all I think
alcoholic imbibement tonight.
of, all I
is
think
off.
of is his
Breakfast Club?
Yes.
Totally.
And Dick.
Yeah.
We've got two of the greatest '80s dicks in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Atherton and this guy. And I gotta look now because I always knew this guy's name and now I can't remember it.
Well, who's the better dick?
Dick.
Oh,
Atherton.
the news reporter.
Atherton by far.
Oh, by far, yeah.
Man, I guess he was so vile in Breakfast Club. So
yeah,
vile.
but he was a principal. He didn't act any different than
He
a principal.
wasn't a principal.
Elite.
He was a vice principal who thought
Was
that
he
he
the
was
vice
a principal.
principal?
Yes.
That makes it even worse because he's just on a power trip, right? He's
Yes.
just like, oh, well, I'm not a principal, but I can.
Well, at least he had the theory of righteousness on his side.
Are you
Well,
Like, as an educator, you're supposed to teach. You're supposed to
Paul
teach.
Gleason was his real name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure Bender? No, Bender was the other guy.
is he related to Brendan Gleeson,
Let's find out.
the guy from?
I know
Or
Brendan
Jackie
Gleason is from Lake Placid. He was the
Brendan
cop.
Gleeson's in.
Jackie Gleason is in the Moonshiners?
Moonlighters.
Moonlighters.
But I was talking about
Moonshiners?
I was not talking about
I knew
Jackie
it was wrong,
Gleeson.
but- No,
I
I-
said Brendan Gleeson.
Brendan Gleeson was the cop in Lake Placid.
Yes.
Yeah, and Mad Eye Moody. He died. I didn't know that.
You,
Paul
Yeah.
Gleason here.
you didn't know that?
No. 2006. Holy shit.
So the reporter is the bigger douchebag because
Okay,
he reveals
sorry.
who John McClane is, right?
I was wrong. He's not getting high. He's getting drunk.
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah, some people refer to them as the same thing. High on alcohol.
So
Uh,
so he's the reporter is the bigger dick in this movie.
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
Because he's a better actor at it, for starters. And secondly, because reporters of this era are typically known as douchebags. They care nothing about the victim and the individual. They want the scoop. That's how he's
It was
playing it.
all about the
I want the
ratings.
scoop. I want to be first. I want to be famous for breaking this piece of news.
I think the police chief's the bigger dick because he puts all these lives at risk because he's too fucking stubborn to listen.
But McLean
Oh,
really puts him
He's a
in
dick
place.
too. Don't get me wrong. We're talking like 98 and 82. Like they're very,
So Paul Gleason has appeared in 2 movies selected for the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress.
Oh,
And that was Breakfast Club and Die Hard.
yeah, I was gonna say it was obvious in
Yeah.
those 2 movies.
Yeah. It doesn't say anything about being related, though.
You just get stumped.
I mean, yeah, no, they're both totally dicks. But I mean, again, the cop has a little more justification.
But the cop is responsible for more deaths in this movie.
That's right. So he's got a more weight on him,
Which is
where
why-
the reporter has no weight.
Well, but the reporter goes to their house and interviews the kids.
Oh, I know.
without
like-
the kids even knowing what's
Right.
going on.
So the kids were... And the reporter was a bigger dick.
Absolutely, I agree.
And- And even in the 80s, they still had the laws where you couldn't actually interview a kid without a parent present, even for a reporter.
Did
Yeah.
they actually have that in the 80s?
Yes.
And that's again what made him.
Oh man,
Dick.
I guess have a hard time looking at all the windows in this movie, just knowing where this is going with all the glass. Like,
did you ever watch What's the Damage on YouTube for this movie?
No.
Look it up sometime. They did it for Home Alone and they did it for this movie. It's a fucking hilarious spoof where they approximately take the value of the things that get destroyed and they make like a running total of how much, and they do Home Alone and they do this movie, and it's freaking hilarious. Look it up.
Let's run through rose bushes and hope
Asian
to
guy.
not get pricked.
Yeah, well, like, how stupid you gotta be to go through the fucking rose?
Of course, the good guys, the cops. Oh, this is the scene I remember most.
Crunchy bar.
Asian guy taking a snack bar.
You just know he's gonna die. You're just like, okay, this is the scene where he dies.
He's not worried about his sugar intake at the moment. But no, you were mentioning the SWAT team decides to run through a thorn bush, a rose bush, and it's just like, yeah, you dumbasses.
The way
and he stops.
Goes, and he's
ow.
like, oh, it's like, dumbass.
You already know that's when you know that, like, okay, this is not going to go well for them if the thorn bush is going to stop them.
The little princesses are going to get hurt.
Oh, and John McClane is just like, come on, just fucking stop it. Like, you're going to die. You're going to die.
Did you notice
And he warned
ninjas?
them 50,000 times over, too.
But they're watching the security cameras. The ninjas are running for the building because none of them were carrying a damn gun.
Well, it's because they're ninjas. They don't need guns.
Right? Until you get to this point and they're already down one.
The terrorists are like so calm and collective. The fucking crunchy part.
And he's sitting there with a credit card trying to get in.
Yeah.
What's that? They knew to shoot out the spotlights?
Yeah.
Weird.
I believe that's what the cop was telling him earlier.
Yeah. Shine the spotlights. No, don't do it. No, we'll be fine. Yeah.
So
you're an idiot.
What was the damage, Corey?
I can't. It was
astronomical.
Yeah. But it was a fun segment. So credit to whoever made it on YouTube. I'm shouting you guys out to give you the credit. It's a great video to watch for anybody who hasn't watched it.
Look, the lockpicks aren't working. We're going to weld through the
Yeah.
door.
Let's get stand in front of these planes of glass. Oh my god, my guys are getting shot while they're standing behind these glass doors.
I'll say, yeah, then they bring in the fucking plow vehicle there.
Okay, this truck is actually pretty badass.
The LAPD mini
Until they shoot a bazooka at it twice.
Use it, sure.
Yeah, if they knew what the fuck they were doing, this would be like badass, right? Like, why don't we drive it up the stairs and get it stuck?
They shoot it once, they're like, oh, it's done. Then they shoot it a second time for good measure and just destroy it. Turns out bazookas are more powerful than armored LAPD vehicle. The more you know.
Like, the terrorists aren't even like, they've kind of lost their cool at this point a little.
Oh,
bit,
they're
right?
all surviving on instinct at this point.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that. They're moving a little bit more frantic than they were before.
But they're taking time to actually bolt that to the floor.
Yeah, right? This is a pretty intense bazooka, I'm not going to lie. Like, it's not an over-the-shoulder crap like you see in the movie. This is a floor-bolted...
Over the shoulder.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's got mounting, so...
Like, what the fuck were they thinking, though, here? Like, we're going to go up the stairs,
He needed
get
to
high
use
center.
He needed to use the sight.
And then
Because
you
he's
got the
up in
black guy
far
making the
away.
sports
The only
references the whole
reason I
time.
got high centered is to movie.
No,
Yeah.
to show their
Had
incompetence.
6 wheels. Yeah, to movie.
Yeah.
It was a way. Well, we can't have them breaking in this early in the movie, so we're gonna. They'll get stuck on the stairs. That's it.
I felt like it was a deliberate thing in the movie to show like
2 times the charm.
So-
the incompetence of the LAPD.
I need to point out there because this is, and it's not movie within a movie. This was technical fault. He's already shot this tank thing once.
Twice now.
No. He's already shot it once, and then they shoot it a second time, and the glass breaks.
It's tough glass, okay? This is like not quite climax yet, but this is where the movie gets like nail biting. And
Yeah.
I do,
bless this movie for being so amazing. So.
I do love John McClane, Kevin McAllister in this. Like, with the homemade bomb
Yeah,
with the fucking computer.
yeah.
Yeah,
He just
How
destroyed an entire floor.
How did he know that he wasn't going to kill his wife?
How did he know that the same people that built this didn't build the Twin Towers?
Yeah, it comes.
Ah.
We are not touching that subject.
I have
Nope.
too much.
Nope.
I have too much to say on that subject that I cannot talk. So
We are not going to do it.
But really, we could.
But no.
So we got to start on the third biggest douchebag in this movie.
Have you started recording yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Well, that was what I was going to fucking say. Thanks, Jeff. Okay, you can have the segment. You want to do it? Go
No,
ahead.
it's all you, Mike.
Third douchebag.
I was queuing. That's called queuing you up.
Yeah, are you?
I was queuing you up.
Thank you, Laura. Yes. Yeah. Just. So there. Okay. Fine. I'll take it.
Love you, Betty White.
Why is it the third most hated people in this movie never kill anybody, and they all get killed?
Yeah.
Oh, except for the reporter. I
He
think
was a
lives.
fucking douche. Like, let's be honest. This
Who?
guy here,
He's a douchiest douche.
What's this guy's name?
I don't even
He-
know.
John McClane's friend.
Yeah.
John L. Buddy.
The guy was so fucking coked up, it wasn't even
That
funny.
was?
He's the real
What?
version
He
of
is.
Bill Paxton's character
Yeah.
in True Lies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, Bill Paxton modeled that character after this guy. You know?
See, and you can just see the German guy.
Ellis. His name was Ellis.
Oh my
His
God.
real name is just as douchey. His real name is Hart Bachner.
Oh, his real name is Justice Douchey?
Yeah. Yeah, Hart Bachner.
I think
Okay.
I
Yeah,
like
it's-
Oh,
Joe.
just as douchey.
Just
I thought
as-
his name was Justice.
No.
Douchey.
Hart.
That is oddly weird. 'Cause-
His first name was Hart, and
Okay.
his last name was Bachner.
Well, I
think
get
I
it
like-
forever now on if I ever see a movie. Hey, it's Justice Douchey.
Yeah, and he's never not going to be. I mean, not that he'll ever listen to us, but I hope he never listens to us. So,
He's
Yeah.
probably dead.
interestingly, he played a role in Mask of the Phantasm and Supergirl.
He was very stereotypically 80s pretty.
Douchebag?
You know, he's got a square
Yeah.
jaw, manicured beard, big smile.
He probably has a Manny and a Petty.
Yeah.
Wait.
No way.
Yeah,
You guys can talk while I'm joking, you know.
we could, or we could just listen to you choke and be
Yeah,
happy.
normally you guys will talk over me, but no, I'm joking.
We're
You guys
just
can't
contemplating who's
have
going to dig
silence.
the graves now.
So, Mike, I need a sound
Yeah,
bit
if
for
Mike,
this.
if Jeff goes, who's going to do it?
No, we need a sound bit for this one because generally when somebody's choking to death, I ask if you're dead yet.
Oh.
Wow. Like, I expect him to treat me and Corey this way, but I didn't expect him to treat you that way.
I was gonna expect-
I didn't like that one.
Oh,
No,
yeah, he's retracting it now.
Yeah, I retracted.
No, he's gonna give me a different one.
Look at this douchebag move here. Hey, John, old buddy, old pal. Like, what?
Oh, I know. Sorry. Let's backtrack here. When you're coughing.
Wow, you sure
this
showed
is
us.
Amazing.
Whoa,
Wow.
what happened there?
There's
That's my
nothing in
comeuppance
W.
for
Oh, sorry, wrong button.
Points for effort.
But he's all comfy in the. He's mimicking the German guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to be one of them,
Handing
not
the
realizing that he's
microphone
coming
low
across
in
as
his
such a
hand.
fucking dick.
What does he think he's going to accomplish here? Like, how does he not think he's going to get shot in the face?
I
Does
think he
get-
thinks he's going to get McClane killed so he could get up with the wife.
You know what? He probably does. Like, he's clearly high on coke right now.
Oh,
And, like,
clearly.
he's-
Oddly enough, when I look at him, I think of John Ritter. Some of his
You
roles.
think?
Well, you ever see Skin Tight? Or what was it?
Oh.
Nope.
Oh.
You know the one I'm talking about? Or is
That's a pull.
it- Yeah. I was one of my favorites.
Was it
But I
Skin
mean-
Tight? No, it was called something else, wasn't it?
Skin Deep.
Skin Deep. Yeah, Skin Deep.
I feel like that movie's got a lot of pornography in it.
Well, it's some.
I was going to say, it doesn't not have any of
It has
it.
the glow in the dark condoms, and two guys were fighting in the dark, so you got to see these little tiny lightsabers bouncing around.
I snuffed that
Wow.
movie as a kid.
Is
I didn't.
that what
yeah.
we're calling them now?
Now the only thing is the manicured beard and the clean cut. John Ritter always had. I always felt that he had a very good look about him in that sense, but because he was such a comedian and so good at that, he never really embraced it. And then you get to see a glimpse of it at the end of Real Men. You get to see it in Skin Deep. You get to see some of this suaveness that he could be.
Well, the worst part is John Ritter was a fantastic actor, but he had some shitty roles.
Was he a
I
fantastic
think he
actor?
suffered just poor
He
good.
was. He just.
Name something he was actually legitimately good at, where he wasn't just
It.
playing John Ritter.
Well, that's the funny thing
It?
with
Is
it
he
though.
It?
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
He was the adult. Anyway, the funny thing with it is the kids outacted the shit out of
absolutely,
the
yeah.
adults.
But I mean, it's what was it? There was the Devil. Like he was always in the comedian stuff.
Child's Play 2.
Child's
Yep.
Play 2.
I totally forgot he was in Child's Play too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets strangled in the back seat or in the front seat. Chucky was in the back seat. Yeah.
I mean, he was one of the ones that I had when he passed away. I was like, oh man, I felt genuinely about that.
I mean, honestly, he was great in 8 Simple Rules.
Yeah.
I mean, and that brought out a lot of actors in that movie, or in that series. I mean,
He knew how to combine that comedy and then go with that emotional
Sensitive,
beat,
yeah.
right, you know?
It was quite the shock when he passed away because he seems so young
because that was
still, right?
Kaylee Cuoco was in 8 Simple
Yeah,
Rules. A
yes.
lot of people forgot about that. So
Which is young.
Yeah, that was pre Big Bang, wasn't
yeah,
it?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
she was very young in that movie.
Mhm.
Or I keep saying movie series.
Every time I see her pop up, I'm just like, man, I didn't realize she was in this.
Yeah,
You knew she was Harley Quinn in the cartoon.
Was
Yeah.
she really?
She voiced Harley Quinn.
Not in the animated
newest,
series.
In the newest animated.
oh, in the newest one, yeah,
newest one,
yeah. Because in the original animated series, it was Arlene Sorkin.
Yeah.
Which, if you ever watched America's Funniest People with Dave Coulier, Arlene Sorkin co-hosted for like half the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I loved America's Funniest People.
Yeah, well, it was underrated because it always followed America's Funniest Home Videos, which was such a you couldn't surpass that landmark.
Well,
That
America's Funniest People was like YouTube before YouTube, right?
Right.
It was people trying to be funny on the video.
Right.
And I was like, I hadn't heard about the time.
yeah, and Dave Coulier was great,
Mhm.
but he couldn't host a show. He couldn't do it. He tried. He couldn't do it.
You ever, that's right. I was going to show my age. You ever watch it? That's Incredible.
I think I did.
Because there's another guy that reminds me of him, the host of that, and I can't remember. He had that beautiful brown long hair, that was manicured, whatever. That's Incredible.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah,
I think, and then I mean, I always watched You Can't Do That on Television.
yeah.
And so
MXC was fantastic.
Yeah, MXC was so much fun.
Yeah,
So
Squid Game without the violence.
Obscure TV movies or TV references.
I love Hans Gruber talking to the police chief here. Or is he like a deputy chief? He's like the vice principal of the cops, right? Grasping for control.
Oh, I would hope so. 'cause
He
that
was-
would be so
He was one of the higher ups in the cops. He wasn't FBI yet. FBI came later.
Yeah, I know the FBI came later, but I don't think he was the chief. I think he was like a deputy.
I think he was deputy. You're right.
I
I
love it.
certainly would admit I was a cop or an FBI in the 80s, that's for sure. Not based off the movies.
I mean,
No, not a cop here. No.
Skinner was pretty amazing in the X-Files.
What's that?
Skinner was pretty amazing in the X-Files.
Who?
Skinner,
Who's that?
Mitch Plegum in the
Oh,
X-Files.
I didn't see the X-Files.
Oh, okay, yeah, he was a great
You've
ADA.
never seen the X
I've
Files?
watched a few episodes, but
He was the
it just
ADA.
annoyed me. It's just like, really? You don't believe in aliens, yet you've been through all this shit? No, I don't believe
But
it.
she was totally a believer by the end of it.
late night TV.
Yeah, but
That's
she
about the only
wouldn't
time I
believe
watched
it after
it.
she's impregnated by one. She still didn't believe it. No, it must be explained.
She was so scientific.
We
was
haven't
all about
invented
science.
groupies yet. Oh, wait a minute, did we?
I
So,
love that show. Anyway,
These tender moments make this movie, don't they? Like they
Oh, yeah.
they add like a good sense of they really bring you down to earth in it, right?
well, this is where
He's explaining.
Carl Winslow explains why he's grounded,
Yeah.
and then there's Mary Ellen Trainor again.
Because, they have to bring in a guy who wrote a book to explain what's going on.
I love the Mail reporter. He was so funny, like he was so stereotypical that even the producers are like, God, he's an idiot.
Isn't that book called Hostage, Terrorist, Hostage?
Yes.
That's like the stupidest name for a fucking book.
And it's like 1,000 pages.
Mm-hmm.
But I've commented before, sorry to go back to it, but Mary Ellen Trainor is the 80s mom. Like the Goonies, she was the psychiatrist in Lethal Weapon. She was the secretary, well, not the secretary, but one of the ladies in Scrooge. She was the 80s. She was
the
80s.
secretary in Scrooge.
Well,
So
the secretary was technically Alfre Woodard, the black girl there, right?
Yeah, but the other one was, one of the producers.
Yeah, she was one of the producers. Yeah.
They're not
And she was
the
in Monster
FBI.
Squad too.
That's the FBI.
That's
the
FBI.
Yeah, they are.
Those two are FBI.
Just
Yeah.
because he's the bad guy from the Goonies doesn't mean that he's not the FBI.
He's a bad guy from a ton of things. He's a professional bad guy.
This is one of those roles
But
where he's trying to show that he's not always a bad guy, even though he's playing an FBI agent.
He's
So
just a
technically-
moron, isn't it?
I'm probably confusing it with one of the plethora of other movies where the FBI comes in and they're actually agents who were the terrorist people.
Yeah.
You know, and I forgot. So.
No, they were actually legit FBI, and I guess you said
Well, they're
that
actors playing
that's the
legit.
guy opposite Joe Pantoliano in the Goonies.
Yep.
Oh, here it is.
The gun left behind, and
The accent.
the American / Texan / whatever you want to call it, accent that Alan Rickman turns on.
And Alan Rickman's acting
Alan
his
Rickman.
ass off in this scene.
Yeah.
Like,
But why did he put his gun down there?
And his flashlight?
okay, you at home are gonna hear some of the movie, okay?
Hi there. How you doing?
Oh, please, God, no, you're one of them, aren't you? You're one of them.
He's so good at acting like a bad actor.
No, please. No, give me that, give me, please.
Whoa, relax. Relax, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you. The fuck are you doing up there? What were you looking for?
I managed to get out of there.
They're,
I was just trying to get up on the roof. See if I could signal for help, you know. It's just for, you know, why don't you come in? We don't forget to come on.
Okay, that's enough of this.
So
I know.
remember back in the day when any British / European actor threw on an English accent, they put the cotton wads in the back of their mouth and their teeth. That's the only way they could settle their jaw enough to do an American accent.
And you could see him trying to like extend out his jaw to make the
Like,
noise.
I was gonna
Any Gerard Butler movie where he's
He's got
English, he's always talking like this, like the rest of his mouth doesn't move, but his mouth moves, and he looks like a fish. And
Well, I saw an interview with Lazenby,
George
George
Lazenby,
Lazenby,
Yeah.
and because he's Australian and he was playing Bond, he had to go through this speech therapy in order to sound English. And one of his tactics, he would lay on his back, and his speech therapist would have him put a toothpick in his mouth, and he would speak.
that sounds painful.
Or it might have been a matchstick, which made more sense.
I
It would
guess.
hurt less.
I guess. But he would sit there and he would have to talk like this. And it's like, and I sat there and I was thinking about the same thing. Yeah, that does kind of make sense.
Yeah, because if you watch a British accent, they talk a lot from the jaw.
Yeah.
And when they constrict their jaw with the cotton wads or whatnot,
Yeah.
it makes it more American.
Yeah.
And I mean, it sounds bad to say American because we're Canadian and we sound quote unquote normal.
Yeah,
And-
I just came back from the States and we do not sound like Americans.
No, at all.
No, there's.
And they always say to us, "Oh, you have a Canadian accent." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
I have an American accent.
Lord, Tundra and Jesus, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, don't talk to the newfies if you're trying to talk about Canadians.
But that's the thing. Like when Mark and I went to the States, we actually got to say toque. Toque.
That's a hat. That's all it is to
Right?
them. It's a winter hat.
But you're supposed to say a toque,
What
And
else
it's
would
like-
you say other than
Well, it's a beanie in the States.
right?
Or a hat.
There's a beanie. There's like a different type of beanie.
Or
See,
a beanie is without the pom pom
has-
and without the lip.
I was gonna say, has anybody watched Two Broke Girls?
Long time
Yeah, a
ago.
little
A
bit.
couple episodes.
Yeah. I mean, freaking, she's got well-deserved assets. But anyway.
But no, it's how she describes it. You wear a beanie because you think it's cool. I wear a toque when it's cold.
Interesting. That sounds
So-
very Canadian, yet
But
she said that.
We
So
She
gotta take
also
a moment and
says-
appreciate John McClane and Hans Gruber. This interaction between the two of them, because they're sizing each other up the whole entire scene where they're sharing a smoke and everything like that. Like Hans is like checking out John McClane's feet, and like he's taking a name off of there, so that like it's an intricate game of chess between the two of them, right? Oh, I'm gonna give you a gun.
I'm gonna another fault or a sin, if you want to say it that way.
we can't say
You
that. We'll
gotta
get
turn
sued.
this
Oh,
down.
yeah. Yeah, I hate the fact when they have an automatic handgun, semi-automatic handgun, and they pull the trigger, and they pull it again, and then pull it, and it goes click, 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 because they don't work that way. That's not how they work. But the fact that if it doesn't fire, it makes sense in a revolver. Maybe you're in an empty hole, but not on an automatic.
Yeah.
And a tried and tested terrorist who doesn't flinch.
Yeah, he doesn't even blink when a machine gun goes
it's
off
just
behind
like-
him. But he doesn't.
There's a lot of great YouTube videos talking about the flaws of machine guns in movies because everyone sees in a movie machine gun, brrrr, but in real life, machine gun, brrrr, brrrr, brrrr. That's real life.
And
So-
it's still spray and pray.
It's still spraying, but it doesn't spray the full 30
Yeah.
clips in one
You don't
shot.
load- yeah,
Aw, they shot Santa Claus.
Generally speaking, there's 10 clips in a round, 30 clips in a barrel. Or sorry, 10 clips in a barrel, 30 clips in a round. Either way,
yeah.
it doesn't shoot all 30 at once.
Yeah.
You can get them that shoot out quite a bit.
Yeah.
I've never shot an AK-47. Have you guys?
No.
Like I've shot some assault rifles before.
See,
Yeah, but assault rifles generally at the most have 15 rounds in a shot.
Oh yeah, I mean they're generally like it's the small burst you can say, but an AK-47 they've got larger clips on them. Like
Well, and that's a Russian gun, so maybe.
Well,
So,
you can buy clips, and you could buy a 180 clip.
yeah.
For Canadian.
That's
goods
illegal
if you
here.
want. It's illegal, but
Yeah.
you can still get them, right? You can get the barrel rolls that have all that.
Yeah,
you
I've seen those
but
too,
They're
yeah.
illegal, but it's just like.
But it
some
can be
guns
done.
Can't
Yeah.
handle that. I want to say just on the same tack, we're talking about authenticity and whatever. You remember the movie Navy SEALs with Charlie Sheen?
I never watched, but I know what you're
nope,
talking about.
sure don't.
That really?
You don't
Michael
know of it
Biehn,
even?
Charlie Sheen,
I know of it, yeah.
Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't
anyway,
watch war movies,
Sounds
but anyway.
amazing.
It was rated as the most authentic and accurate movie depicting naval SEALs
Well, that's
by Navy SEAls.
good for them. Right on.
Yeah, and it was a great action
Again,
film.
I don't watch war movies, so.
Oh yeah.
With Charlie Sheen in it.
You
Yeah,
haven't heard of
young,
him?
young Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen was also in Platoon, wasn't he?
He was,
one
yes.
of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was Vietnam, so.
Oh man, John McClane and the bleeding feet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I mean, all the glass that is embedded into the soles of his feet in this movie.
I guess Wince
Fuck.
is thinking about that glass.
Yeah.
and this is the only part where he seems human.
And I've got glass in my foot once before, and I thought I was gonna
I
die.
hate this watching him pull this one out where they show it.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
Yeah.
It is.
I disagree with you, Laura, about this being the only scene like where he's
But
seeing human.
it's the
The
only part.
The whole movie, he's like
G.I. Joe until he gets
No,
glass
no,
in his feet.
I disagree. I think that the charm of this movie was because he wasn't G.I. Joe.
But let's go back to the beginning. Let's go, not the movie, but when they shot out the glass in front of him because they knew he'd have to walk across it. That was brilliant by the bad guys.
Oh,
But
yeah,
that takes it back to the fact
the
where
smartest
Hans,
people in this film are the bad guys. Followed
Yeah.
by John McClane.
Takes us
Everybody
back to
else
what, Laura?
is morons.
it takes you back to where Hans and John McClane are sizing each other up, and like you said, Hans keeps looking at his feet and the fact that they're bare.
Mhm.
Yeah. And he knows. Yeah. That's why the joke is, the meme is, don't forget to leave a pack of cigarettes and a pair of shoes for John McClane this Christmas. And then somebody said a Twinkie. I'm like, that's not for him. That's for Carl Winslow.
Well, I think it's because they say we'll have to share a Twinkie or something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think this line right here, I think they just said they're gonna have to share a Twinkie. Oh, his fucking car's still there after he drove off that
The parking lot,
cemetery
yeah,
thing.
into the parkade.
Like, why don't you guys move that? You guys, like, haul it away. You've been here for hours already. Like,
I mean, it is a hostage situation. There's more pressing matters.
I'm pretty sure the car's been there for hours, though.
Fuck the car.
Hmm.
I totally forgot about Navy
So
SEALs.
back in the day, and I might republish it on, I don't know if I have already, on my my written reviews, but back in the day I published the top 10 movie villains of all time. I think we talked about that in terms of horror villains, but I did my top 10 movie villains of all time, and I put Alan Rickman as number 2 because between Hans Gruber, between Snape, which was an off-again,
I
on-again
was going
villain,
to say, you have to say Professor
and
Snape.
between
He's not a villain.
the
He
sheriff,
is so.
between the sheriff in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves,
Oh, naughty. Yeah.
he is
Yeah.
so goddamn good.
So Snape
Absolutely.
is 100% a villain
Is an anti-hero.
until the very end.
He is an anti-hero. He's not a villain.
You don't find out that he's a good guy until the end.
Second last movie.
So as
Yes.
a city worker,
Second
I want
book.
to talk
Last
about.
book.
Yes.
I want to talk about some unrealism in this movie. City workers are not in charge of your power grid, no matter what you guys believe. Maybe that was the case back in the 80s, but I highly doubt that.
That was in Ghostbusters 2, too. So who are we talking about? Who is in charge?
The power company.
Oh, okay. What is the power company in part 2? I thought that's what you meant. Sorry.
No, it's the city workers in this one. No, it's the city workers in Ghostbusters.
Con
2.
Ed. It was the phone company. That's who it was. Yeah.
I wouldn't argue with you, but I don't know how, like a large metropolis city, like here in Canada is one thing, Red Deer's another, but Edmonton, Calgary, Los Angeles, perhaps the power grid people do actually work for the city. I don't
So
know.
it's actually, it's more likely not in those places because
And lo and
your water
behold,
and sewer is more likely to be. Sorry, Laura, I didn't cut you off. But
Nope.
the water and sewer is more likely to be a private company, and stuff like power is more likely to be a private company in a large metropolis.
Yeah, it makes more sense to me.
well, and when you look at it, really, when you think power company, now this is the whole movie inside a movie thing. They were on the right track right at the beginning by cutting all the freaking wires. All you had to do is cut the power to the whole building, and the safe would have opened.
Well, I don't think they could. Like the
What's
terrorists.
a Barabon?
I don't know. That's got to be an American thing. I was going to say the same thing,
What's a
actually.
Barabon?
But they got $1 million worth of bearer bonds there, and good for them? Question mark.
Yeah.
I feel like they're untraceable.
It's like a money order, essentially, but not.
I love how their plan revolves around the FBI showing up.
Yeah, they were smart.
That's genius.
Yeah,
Like the FBI are going to cut the power, and that's how we're going to get into this vault.
So apparently Canada does have a bearer bond.
okay.
Oh, no. So you're right, Jeff. They are bonds that have no registration.
Yeah.
Why
But again,
would you do that?
what's the difference between a bearer bond and a money order?
The money
Money
order
order
is
is
traceable.
one where it's traceable and you send the money
Why
to
would you
somebody.
make untraceable money, for lack of a better term? Why would any country do that?
There's probably
Because-
less service fees or something. I don't
Because
know.
you want to attract millionaires in your country.
So they're generally,
But you know damn well they're going to be doing illegal shit.
but generally
nobody
they're
cares
only used by a corporation. Okay, well, yeah, bad chick or a government.
I'm on the right track. with
You're
that.
on the right track.
Governments don't care if corporations and millionaires are doing bad stuff. It's only
Obviously,
you
governments don't give a shit about anything or anybody other than their paychecks.
and me.
That's clear.
Yeah.
I don't know why, and this is really, really, really stupid, but I love how they gave John McClane chest hair. They could have easily made him a top part shaved,
Oh no, no.
ripped white man.
That's
but
2000s. Back to the bearer bonds for a second. Did you know they're illegal in the UK?
Oh, wow.
I mean, why?
Sucks to be UK, I guess.
Because
Bear-
they're smarter than the rest of the
No.
world?
Are attracted to anybody seeking to remain anonymous in order to avoid taxation, controls on capital movements, or legal checks on the laundering of money derived from criminal activities.
So I have two thoughts of this. Like, one, fuck them, because if I make $1 million, why do they got to be after my cheddar? Or two, fuck those millionaires trying to get out of the government trying to get their cheddar.
Or 3.
It's a bit of both, yeah.
Or 3, looking at this movie, what's his name, Takanato or whatever,
Yeah.
obviously was into some really illegal shit, which is why Mrs. McLean went back to her maiden name.
So the question becomes: is where's your moral stance? Do you like having roads that are finished? Do you like having what our taxes are supposed to pay for? Do you like those elements? Notice I said supposed to.
Okay, I was gonna
You gotta
say.
work for the city that we're living
Right.
in. So
So without
Obviously,
taxes,
I
you
enjoy
don't.
those.
You have no
But
job without
Jeff,
taxes.
we're not saying that you're corrupt.
No, yeah. But by offering bearer bonds to companies, and
We're
stuff
not
like that,
saying it either.
that bypasses money that could go to you
I
and
don't-
people like you.
I trust him with my
there's
kids,
the moral
so he
dilemma.
can't be corrupt.
see, if you don't offer these companies stuff
That's
like
pretty
that,
amazing.
there's a chance they don't come to you and you don't attract them, right? But if you have them, they should be paying their fair share. So it's a
And
Well,
this is where the mob comes
Yeah,
from.
I honestly believe if they don't get that, somebody will come
Okay.
in and actually.
So this is when Blondie, the brother of the guy that he kills at the beginning,
Yes.
and him fight. This is the closest thing to
Oh,
martial arts we have
there
in
we
this
go,
movie.
and that's exactly it. We saw some
Now, is
very fast-fisted scenes.
Was it martial arts or was it just kickboxing?
But to be fair, the movie's on 1.5.
I mean, martial arts
Is
kickboxing.
any form
Not really.
of hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
So boxing is martial arts.
Yes, it's a martial art.
Hmm.
Yes,
I don't think most people consider boxing martial arts.
look it up.
I'm not
But
saying.
I'm just saying. Even in Dungeons and Dragons, martial skills is hand-to-hand.
I'm not arguing that boxing's
See,
not.
like
I'm
different-
just saying that most people wouldn't.
See,
Different
consider-
martial arts mean different things. Karate, by definition, actually means defense. Is no fighting in karate is what karate stands for.
Open hand
So-
or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
karate was created by the Okinawans to defend against the oppression. It was not meant to attack the oppression. It was meant to defend against the oppression.
So, Corey, I'm going to take you back to the beginning of this whole thing where you said that the reporter was a dick.
He was a dick.
You have a very valid point on that.
I
Because
do.
the only reason that Hans finds out that Holly Gennaro is actually McLean's wife is
Because of
because of them interviewing the kids.
That's what makes her sexy more than anything. Her name
That's where you went with that?
just reminded me. I remember Holly.
Holly.
Gennaro?
I love
Oh,
that name.
it's like
Holly.
Holly?
Yeah, but like Gennaro.
And,
Wow.
and,
It's a very generic
and
name.
Holly is a very Christmas name.
Ah!
Another Christmas tier.
Oh, no.
Okay, at this point we're digging.
Now I'm
he's
convinced.
Right. He's right, though.
We're trying too hard at this point.
Yeah, yes.
I don't think there's a
No.
whole lot of effort involved. Personally, but okay.
You might be right, but we're still digging pretty deep. So
It's like somebody's trying to tell us it's not a Christmas movie. And it's like,
Okay,
we all
now
agree here. So.
I saw
See-
this thing where Bruce Willis himself said it
Says-
was not a Christmas movie, and I'm like, that's because Bruce Willis has dementia.
no,
Oh,
no,
too soon,
because
too soon.
he actually said that before he forgets all his words, he has to point out that Die Hard was not a fucking Christmas movie.
Yeah,
He
because
also
it's
said
a
that-
Bruce Willis movie.
He
Yes.
also said that at a roast where somebody was making fun of it for being it. You know, so it's like, how real is that? You know, he was come back too.
He was being roasted.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
let's just
Don't we all love the unkillable henchman?
let's just drag you.
Oh, he's very killable.
Okay,
This-
now
Yeah,
this
Turns
is
out
a
hanging
tip-
from a chain, and it doesn't kill him. That's the thing.
Right,
Yeah,
and
like-
I was gonna say this is a very typical scene of the '80s. Is let's hang the henchman with a chain.
Don't they do that to Gary Busey's character in Lethal Weapon, and he still comes back to fight at the end?
No, it wasn't Gary Busey's character.
Okay.
Yeah, we established that.
Oh,
wasn't
right.
very-
that was the henchman. No, was it?
That was the FBI.
That's the FBI
Oh,
in the
yeah.
helicopter here.
No, I meant in
In
Lethal Weapon.
yeah, it was the
Was it
henchman.
the Asian henchman that was in this one
It
too?
wasn't the Asian henchman, but it was the henchman. Yeah, it was one of the
It
henchmen.
was one of the
That is
henchmen.
a culturally offensive term.
Asian?
Okay,
Henchman.
but
And he's dead.
but now
you finally
Well,
got it.
we got three ethnicities represented by henchmen. What does that mean?
Well, they are an equal opportunity hench group, right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So
It isn't Christmas until you see Hans Gruber fall off the Nakatomi Plaza on Christmas
Okay,
Eve.
before I go back, you're gonna watch closely, and you'll see the mat that this is painted on crinkle before they cut away. It's kind of like,
Does it crinkle?
Watch it.
I'm looking.
Wait.
I'm looking.
I'm watching.
Maybe it was on a different version. I don't know.
I was gonna say
Because there's
no-
one version where if you pause it right moment, you can see the crash. But before this softcore porn started,
This was softcore
the
porn.
fact that
In the 80s.
John McClane used packing tape to tape a gun to a sweaty, greasy, bloody back.
I mean, it was duct
on
tape
his
in all
own,
fairness.
and it's stuck.
See,
No,
G.I. Joe.
It's the most
but it
unbelievable.
Duct
was
tape
duct
sticks
tape.
to anything.
That is untrue.
It wasn't
not.
duct tape. It was packing tape. It had
If you got any moisture in her, that thing doesn't stick to nothing.
That's right.
And he is a greasy mess in this movie.
And
You're
again,
right.
that's the most unbelievable thing in this movie.
It's a movie.
Everything
within a
else
movie.
I can get behind this.
Yeah, there's nothing else in this movie that's fantastical enough for you to not suspend your disbelief.
This is such a great movie. However,
Oh, look at
and then
it.
he gets to meet Carl Winslow for
And
the
then
first
look,
time.
all the bear bonds are falling on everybody's heads.
$100,000 a pop too.
Yes.
Folks at home, I highly recommend you do not watch a movie for the sole purpose of picking it apart. You might ruin your own expectations.
So
But
I've
that
never
takes
met the
way
guy.
too
I'll
much
never
time.
meet the guy.
Leave it to the
However,
professionals.
Cinema Sins will always be the pinnacle. So thank you, Cinema Sins, for doing what you do. However, this is us being us.
Yeah. Well, CinemaSins, they by no means try to convince us that they actually don't like these movies. They like these movies a lot, And even CinemaSins, there are about, I'd say their best one was about 70% that I agree they're real sins. 30% was them just trying to find a reason to pick.
Well, they have to make it 20
That's
minutes,
the
right?
Yeah.
Terrible henchman.
He lives. You got to shoot him in the head. Didn't you know that?
Mm-hmm.
And he's still held on.
That's why you're supposed to shoot them in the head.
Yeah, if Scream
I-
taught us anything.
I love how Carl Winslow's character moment is him shooting a guy in the face.
His trauma is not coming over killing a kid by killing a grown up.
Yeah, that's
That's his moment. Okay, sure. American 80s.
Isn't that how it works? I don't know.
Yeah.
And look, here comes the drunk limo driver with the teddy bear in the back.
I kind of think.
Is it a bear? It looked
It's
like
a teddy bear.
Oh,
It
it's
looked
a
like
giant
a
teddy
chapra, or what are those things? Capybara things.
No, it's a giant.
Those fucking.
A
It's
capra
a
bear.
bear. No, it's definitely a teddy
It's a bear.
I don't think it is.
It's a bear. Look, he punches him in the nose.
It's a kookaburra or something like that.
Not a
Chupacabra.
chupacabra.
Yeah.
It's
Not a chupacabra.
Well, what are you trying to say it is?
Those fucking capybara.
Cappy.
Those fucking. God damn it!
You're not helping yourself here, Corey.
In
You
an
can't
audio
think of a name.
podcast, I can't do anything to make this better.
What are you trying to describe?
It's a rodent in Australia.
Oh, that's They're
Right?
There's hardly any
Fuck.
Tasmanian devil type thing,
Oh,
or kookaburra,
Oh.
which is a bird, but you know what a kookaburra sounds like.
Yeah.
They're in every movie that's in any jungle.
They laugh.
They only exist in Australia.
And
But-
songs. Laugh, kookaburra, laugh, kookaburra.
Every time you're
Anyway.
in a movie and it's a jungle, it goes, "Hoo, hoo, 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 ah, 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 ah." That's a bird that only exists in Australia.
That's a bird? I always thought that was a
That's
monkey.
a kookaburra. Yeah.
Huh. So, as always, guys, what genre is this?
Action.
Laura, where
Do
you
we
put it?
have a Christmas section?
Once a year, in this time of year, you have a Christmas.
Okay.
But between November and January.
Okay, so November to January is a Christmas movie. The rest of the time it's action.
Okay.
She's right.
What?
Between
So you're saying in
November
December
and
it's not
January.
an action?
I said November to January.
Oh,
It's
November
Christmas.
2 January. Okay.
And
Okay.
just so you know, there's no Capybara or whatever in Australia.
Yes.
Fucking
Let
God
us point out that
damn
Corey
it.
finished a 16-ounce glass
You know what?
of Jack Daniels. What, 3 beers? Or are we on 4 now?
Not to like.
That.
Oh, that thing we can't see through
A
the podcast.
capybara?
What is it?
It's a capybara.
Oh, a capybara.
Yeah. That's what that thing looked like.
It was a bear.
It was not a fucking bear.
Why would it be a capybara?
I don't fucking know. Leave me alone. I'm drunk.
Clearly.
I'm not, though. That's the thing.
So I put it in the action section, but I did Polly all over it.
So you don't think it goes in drama?
No.
I say that once, and now he's going to throw that down at
Yeah,
me.
you
Twice.
walked into that one.
What was the second time I said something was a drama that you disagreed with?
Lake Placid?
Old dads.
No, the second one.
Oh,
we agreed.
Yeah, we
It was
agreed.
it was not a solo.
Okay.
So
Lake Placid is definitely not a drama.
No.
well, it's not a comedy.
Well.
No, it's funny, but it's not a comedy.
I would put it in the comedy.
Yeah, that's
It's
fine.
more comedy than
It's
thriller.
got Betty White. So.
Again, comedy and funny are not necessarily the same. There's comedies out there that are not
What
funny.
has got Betty White?
Yeah. Anyway,
This is the quintessential action movie of the 80s, so like it's hard not to put in yet.
it is
Hello.
now the second, my number 2 on Christmas action movies, because I just finally watched, just for everybody to know, I finally watched Violent Night. That is now my number 1 Christmas
It's
movie.
pretty amazing. I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
gonna lie.
Absolutely, I will.
Will I call it
recommend that.
number 1? No. Will I put it in my top 3? Yes.
I'm calling it number 1, and there was flaws in it. Don't get me wrong; it was not a perfect movie, but it embodied the spirit, the emotions, and the fun that all belong in Christmas.
Did it have a female named Holly?
Sadly, that was one of the marks against it, but it had the girl from Almighty Gemstones,
Huh?
Yes.
the daughter from Almighty Gemstones.
I don't know what that is.
Me either.
She's if you ever seen her, she's the same character in every movie she ever does,
So
and it's hilarious.
is it kind of like oh god, what's that music with the was it 80s cartoon?
Gem and the
That's
Gem and the holograms.
Why the? How?
You've never heard of Gem and the
I know what
Hologram?
Gem is, but how did you pull that out of that?
I knew what
The
you
Almighty
meant.
Gemstones with John Goodman and Adam Devine.
Oh, I might have heard of that.
Oh,
Actually.
that's
It was an
identical to Gem and the
HBO. It was
Holograms.
hilarious for 2 seasons. I think there was a 3rd season we haven't really watched. It was hilarious. Who's that guy that did
Yeah, that guy.
Eastbound or something like that?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
He always plays an asshole,
he
right?
plays the exact same character in
Yeah.
everything he does.
Typecasting.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, he's buddies with like Seth Rogen and
yeah, he's in
all
that
them.
group. I can't remember.
Yeah, he's in
his
that
name.
Judd Apatow group.
Yeah.
John C. Reilly?
No, he's the guy. If you watch In the End, he's the guy that makes Channing Tatum his like dominant bitch.
Not Adam Goldberg, is it?
No. Yeah, it's the second that we pick him up, you're gonna be, oh yeah, that guy. Oh my god.
Danny McBride?
Yes,
Yes!
Danny McBride.
Danny
Yeah.
McBride. Yeah, that's who's in it.
I'm just trying to think of all the Seth Rogen guys in my head.
Yeah.
So
Eddie Patterson. Edie Patterson?
Edie.
Edie Patterson. She was in that. Tony Cavallero.
I feel like Tony Cavallero is one of those actors that you know, but you have no idea who
Yeah,
he is.
you don't know his name.
Yeah.
And Skylar Gisondo.
Wow.
Okay. Anyway,
All right, that about wraps it up. Jeff?
final thoughts?
Jeff?
Yeah. So,
Jeff?
yeah, my final thoughts on it is that it's the quintessential 80s action movie. I want to give it a Raiders of the Lost Ark, but I feel like it's a 3.5 Indiana Jones out of 4 because even though it's a Raiders of the Lost Ark, it deserves that extra half Last Crusade for higher quality. It's not a Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, It's definitely a Raiders of the Lost Ark, but it gets that extra 0.5 to give it a higher ranking because it's a higher class of movie than gets the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
See, obviously it's not without its flaws. Nothing is without its flaws. This one is as close to it as possible for me. 4.99 out of 5.
Yeah.
You just can't give it that zero.
You just can't give it a
0.01.
Because there were some silly moments that you can't get past.
It's
But
the skin-colored
4.99
sandals,
out of-
wasn't it?
I mean, little things.
There was no silly moments for me that I couldn't get past. And
No, exactly. You got past everything, but to say it was flawless would be a lie.
There's no
So,
such thing as a flawless movie.
Right. So
There is.
4.99 out of 5. Laura?
Why can't you? Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one. I mean, it was always one of my favorites growing up, so it'd have to be a 5 for me.
That's fair.
And like, I'm not one for action movies now. I'm more horror, but I always loved it.
Mike?
I love this movie. I agree that there's problems with it, but you can get over them fairly quick. Was there something when I first watched it that I thought, that's dumb, or I struggled with? I think there was a moment or two, but I think it was overpowered by such charisma by Willis and
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman. There was such the pros so outweighed the cons. So as far as being well done, all things considered, cliches and everything, I'd say an 8.5. 8.5 out of 10 for being well done. Likability, I'd say a 9.5.
You got to remember about this movie is like a lot of things that became cliche after this movie, right? Like, you know, the beaten down cop visiting. That didn't really become a cliche till after this movie, right? Like,
I mean, this was the point of creating cliche. Some of the cliche was, I totally understand that. And do you want me to judge it 30 years ago? I don't remember 30 years ago. I don't remember 3 weeks ago. So, it's one of those things there. I remember the joy I got out of it for decades. But we just watched it now, and there's things that bug me. But not enough to ruin it.
I do have to point out, though, because it's definitely not an American term. It is definitely a European term. The term flatfoot. It's not used in North America.
I don't know.
It might be
My dad
a
was
cop
flatfoot.
I would say not anymore, anyway.
He wasn't allowed to be in the military, militia, because he was flat-footed.
That's a medical thing.
Yeah, no, but I mean, does it not? I've heard
flat-footed medically is not the same thing as flat-footed professionally.
I've heard flat-footed in a lot of TV shows and movies.
And generally speaking, it has nothing to do with the medical condition.
Yeah, but
I disagree.
Generally,
I think walking a lot will lower your arch, weaken your arches.
It does.
And I think that's the term. That's what the derivative of.
So, and that's where the term is wrong in this one. And even with all of this and the way I look at things, the movie still gets a 5 out of me.
This has been Medical Talks with the RLL of Quartets.
But the whole
We're
thing
trained
on that
professionals.
one is
Do not shut this at home.
Shut up. He shoots a kid and he can't work anymore, so he gets put behind the desk.
Yeah.
In order to be a flatfoot, he'd have to be a beat cop.
Well, it was a terminology. Like, he was like, "Oh, did you get flat feet or something like that?" Like, he was like,
but he was a beat cop. He wore the uniform.
I won't argue that definition. I understand where it came from. You might be right, but I've heard it so often. Oh, here comes the flatfoot, and it's just like, I don't know. I've heard it enough where I wouldn't say you're wrong, but I would question it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But that's all I would have to say about that.
So this is our Christmas episode, guys. So we have to say Christmas cheer today. Okay?
Yeah.
We have to say Christmas cheer, or
well, no, you have to say.
We have to portray a Christmas cheer.
So, Corey, your Christmas salutations, please, kind sir.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We appreciate you for the last 2023. We hope to see you again next year. We only are going to get bigger and better from here.
Oh, over 200 listens.
Yay!
He sounds so enthusiastic.
I was eating. I'm sorry. Priorities is food.
Your priorities suck.
Speaking of priorities,
The amount of
Laura,
drink I've had in me,
Yeah.
I need food.
Merry Christmas cheer.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Corey's cut off. Or talk to everybody. I know there should be a New Year's episode still.
we're hoping, we're not sure what is going to become of that, but
We're gonna.
Just when you thought I was
might
drunk.
be in place. Just saying.
the big man himself, Santa Claus. What?
Yeah, no. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. I don't
Feliz
give
Navidad.
a flying hoot who you are, what you celebrate. Think of other people. Think of the season that we're trying to represent more than who's representing it. That sounds weird, but think of the other people. Transcend everything and be kind, be joyous, and can I say it?
Don't be a dick.
I want to say it.
Say it.
You can say
Say
it.
it.
Nobody else is going to
Say it.
We're gonna
Say
say
it?
it.
Can I say it?
He's gonna say a thing. He's gonna say a thing.
Yippee
Yay,
ki
motherfuckers!
Is that it?